Hey guys, um, we're gonna do some vocabulary today. So it's based off the Mulan story, and I'm gonna go through the PowerPoint with you that you're going to finish on your own later, just so you know what to do. Let me share my screen with you. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I've been like running around everywhere this morning, and I didn't get a chance to do this. So this is the screen here. Let me start with the first slide. So, okay. So you're not gonna type on this slide, okay? But you will type on the other slides. This is just my copy, and this one too. So don't type on this one. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go through each slide, and I'm gonna go over what I'm looking for your assignment today. So the first slide here, it has two, it's not supposed to have two, that's okay. But I put them together. It's army and soldier. So these are your two vocabulary words for this slide. But what I want you to do is I want you to think of when you hear the words army and soldier in the community and just write down some thoughts here. So like maybe you hear the word army when you're watching, you know, TV and there's an army out in the streets, like if there's protests, so you can put like protests right here. You just type it right there. And let me escape the big screen so then you can type that out a little bit. So you can put protests. Maybe you hear of army and the protests in LA, in Los Angeles. When do you hear of the army at home? Maybe you have a family member in the army. Family member in the army. Okay. Remember, an army is a group of soldiers, and then a soldier is someone who fights in an army, okay, to protect either a country, a city. It's usually a country or a group that someone's associated with. And then at school, an army or soldier at school, like, have you ever heard of, I mean, we're learning about it right now in Mulan's story. So you could put the Mulan story, or maybe you heard it in the, well, the community, you could put the news. That's probably what you hear it mostly in. At school, maybe you're learning about, maybe in history, maybe you're learning about wars in history and army, okay? And then around the world, you could put, maybe you hear of different armies or soldiers around the world. So maybe there's a war going on. There might be a war going on in Africa. So you could be like, you heard of an army in Africa? Or in like the Middle East. Okay, like different things like that. Okay, and then you're gonna go down to the next slide, and then it provides you with the definition. So army, a group of soldiers who train or they practice to fight in wars. Okay, and then you need to write 3 sentences using the word army, okay, down here. So you're gonna put any sentence, you know. I don't want it to be the definition. I don't want it to be from the story. So you need 3 sentences, and then you go to the next one, and this is soldier, a person who is in the army. So you needed to have 3 sentences with the word soldier in it, okay? And it needs to make sense. That's why the definition is there for you, okay? And then we'll just go through. So brave, okay, you're gonna do that same thing for brave. Are there brave people in your community? Firefighters, police officers. Are there brave people at home? Maybe you have a parent who's working 2 jobs, and they're trying to provide for their family, and maybe they go out into the community and work, and they're exposed to the coronavirus. That's kind of brave, right? At school, who's brave at school? Sometimes we have police officers at the school campus. I mean, I'm at work right now working with other students, and I could be exposed to the coronavirus, because that make me brave. Like, I'm not afraid, you know, of what could happen around the world. Someone who's not afraid around the world, who is brave around the world. Let's see, maybe soldiers, you know, or the army. People who are in the army, you know, they might risk their life for their country. So I think that's brave, okay? And that's kind of just like Mulan in the story, right? And so you need 3 sentences for brave, okay? And we'll go to protect. Protect means to keep safe from harm or danger, right? So you're gonna do the same thing here. Community, who protects people in the community? Who protects you at home? Who protects you at school? How do we protect the world, okay? We could protect the world by maybe recycling. Just think of different things that, you know, have to do with protecting in these different environments. Next one, okay, and that's what you're gonna write your sentences, 3. Okay, worried. Worried is kind of a complex one, so I'm gonna go to the next one so we can go over the definition and then come back to it. So to think about something that you're not sure of or are scared / afraid of over and over again. You keep thinking about it. So when you worry, it's something you think about something over and over and over because you're afraid of it, you're scared of it, so that makes you worried, okay? In the community, is there something you're worried about? We're in a pandemic right now. The coronavirus is something. At home, maybe you're worried about getting in trouble, or you're worried about not finishing your schoolwork, you know, something at home or school. I mean, you could use that as schoolwork too, because you're technically at home, but doing schoolwork. Or at school, maybe you're worried that somebody doesn't like you, or your friends are mad at you, something like that. Around the world, something you're worried about around the world. For me, I would say I'm worried about the environment around the world. So I'm worried about the icebergs melting and the water covering some parts of our country, or actually our continents. I'm also worried about people not being safe in out in the cities and whatnot. Okay, so in the next one, you're gonna write 3 sentences, okay? Pretend. What does it mean to pretend? We're gonna go look at the definition. To be someone or something you are not, okay? Make believe or fake, okay? In the community, maybe you go to a play and they do pretend, you know, it's make believe at a play. So you can maybe put a play in the community. Maybe you do some pretend play at home with your brother or sister. At school, maybe sometimes we pretend we're in situations, like Mrs. E puts you in situations in speech class, and you pretend to say what you would say if that was really happening to you. Around the world, this one's a little harder. I want you to think about that one. Okay. Next word is trains. So let's go over, this is not a choo-choo train. This is not a train that takes things places. This is to get ready for, to learn and practice different skills. When you train for something, you're getting ready for it. You're practicing, you're learning different skills, so you're ready for this job you have to do. So Mulan in the story, she trains to be a soldier. So she's training to fight. She's training to be physically fit. So she's working out, I'm sure. So what you're gonna do, you can come back and think of how people are trained in the community. Again, firefighters, police officers, how are they trained? At home, how do you train at home? Do you have a certain routine that you do? Do you work out at home? You know, something like that. At school, how do you train for school? Like, do you do homework assignments? Do you practice doing work at home? Or maybe you practice chores at home, so you're trained to know how to clean something. Around the world, there are many people around the world who are in the army or in the military, and there's many of them in different countries and different continents. So maybe you can say something like that. Just think of I want you to at least put one thing per box, okay? There needs to be one thing here, one thing here, one thing here, and here. If you can do more power to you. I would love to see more, okay? I wanna see what you're thinking about, okay? Next, we have leaders, okay? We're gonna go to the definition of leaders, and this is it. So people who are in the high position, a leader, the main person of a group of people, okay? So leaders, who are some leaders in your community, okay? Who's like the main person? So the main person in the community and like your city is usually the mayor, and then of the state, it's the governor, okay? At home, who is in charge of your house? Is it your mom? Is it your dad? Is it an aunt? At school, who are the main people in charge of the school? Okay, we went over this yesterday. The top person, the leader of the school is the principal. His name is Mr. Porter. The one below is the assistant principal. There's 3 of them, okay? There's Mrs. Cordia, Mr. Barrientos, and Ms. Thomas. And then the third group of leaders below the assistant principals are the teachers. Myself, Mrs. Felix, Mrs. Z, Mr. Weber, okay? And around the world, okay? Since there are many countries around the world, there are many different leaders. So if you can think of any names, any people who you know are leaders of different countries, that would be great. All right, 18, we have discover, okay? What does it mean to discover? It means to find something out, find out something, to learn of something new. Okay, so maybe think of your life. What's something that you recently discovered in your community? Maybe you've seen there's a new restaurant, like you discovered a new restaurant that you tried and you like it. Awesome. At home, maybe you discovered a new activity that you enjoy doing at home. At school, what about at school? Maybe there's a new book you read at school, a new story like the Mulan story that you are learning about, something new that you're learning. Around the world, this could be many things. There's lots of things happening around the world, guys. And I know you're very aware of that. So I'm sure you can think of some things to jot down, okay? And you need to put 3 sentences here. Almost done, I promise. Oh my goodness, so many. Okay, setting. So the setting in this story, the Mulan story, is where a story takes place. So where is this Mulan story happening? Okay, is it happening in the US? Is it happening in England? Or is it happening in China? Okay, that's the setting. It's where it's at. So it could be a city, it could be a state, it could be a country, it could be a location. It could be at the beach, it could be at the countryside, it can be in the mountains, a place, where. That's the setting, okay? And this one might be a little harder, but you can try it out. The community. What are some different places in the community? What are some different places at home? You can say, so this could be restaurants, parks, at home, different rooms. Those are settings. At school, different classrooms, different parts of the campus, gym, football field, different places around the world. You can think of so many things. I'm gonna let you guys do that one by yourself. Joins. Okay. Joins means to become a part of something, okay? When you join a group, you join a team, you become a part of that team or that group. So in the community, I want to think of something that you joined in the community. Maybe you joined a club, maybe you joined a gym. At home, maybe you joined a Netflix account, maybe you joined a game online, okay? Something like that. At school, maybe you joined a club, maybe you joined a new elective class. Think of something, you got it. Around the world, think of what other people join around the world. Okay, maybe they do join the army. Maybe they join different organizations that help people. Okay, think of some things. All right, 2 more, and then we're done. Decides. Okay, what does it mean to decide something? It means to make a choice between different things that come up in your life. So every day you decide, probably hundreds, maybe thousands of times a day you decide something. So this morning when I woke up, I decided to wear this necklace, okay? I made that choice. I had a lot of different choices, and I chose this necklace with a locket on it, okay? I decided to come to work. Some people don't come to work, you know, because of they're sick or whatever, however they feel. There's different things in your life you decide, okay? You can decide from what you want to eat in the morning. Like this morning, I decided I needed to have some coffee, so I had coffee. For dinner last night, I decided I wanted a burrito. I had a burrito, okay? There's lots of different things that I want you to do for this slide. You can think of things. I don't need to go over different places in the community where you decide things. There's so many at school, at home, and around the world in the community that you can think of. Last one, I believe. Yes, China. Okay, China is a country in Eastern Asia. Okay, I want you to think of different times you've heard of China in the community, at home, at school, around the world. Okay, most of this will probably be in the news. Most of these things will be in the news. At school might be a little different. Maybe you tried some different foods from China at school, okay? Oh my goodness. Okay, sorry, the computer was being weird. Okay, you guys got this. I'm proud of you. I love you. I miss you. You got it. Okay, see you later.